This section of the policy discusses the Iredell County Personnel Ordinance, Article 9, Personnel Records. The information you see listed on the current screen is information that is accessible to the public at any time. To touch on a few of these, the performance evaluations are not accessible to the public. Disciplinary actions are not accessible to the public. However, the dismissal letter is public record. Also, the type and date of suspension or demotion are accessible to the public. Age is public record, but the actual birth date is not. Information in the personnel records is confidential other than the material previously discussed. Other exceptions where one may have access to the personnel records is when an employee or their authorized agent, such as an attorney, requests access. In addition, a supervisor having direct authority over the employee, the Human Resources Director, County Manager, County Attorney, or an official of a state or federal government agency may also access the personnel records. A court order will also require access to be granted to a personnel file. Information in the personnel files may not be accessible for purposes of assisting in an investigation of the employee's tax liability. Medical information on employees is maintained separate from the personnel files, and it may be accessible under the following circumstances: when a manager needs to be informed of restrictions and accommodations, or information needs to be revealed to emergency personnel in the event of a medical emergency while at work, during an investigation of an Americans Disability Act case, or if the employee designates in writing to provide the information to a licensed physician. When an inquiry is made on an employee's record, the inquiry will be recorded and the record will be maintained by the HR Director. Should an employee object to material being placed in their personnel file, they may accompany the material with a rebuttal. An employee requesting access to their personnel file must report to Human Resources with proper identification and must sign a release form. Employees may receive one free copy of their personnel record per year. However, the employee will be charged for any copies requested thereafter. All aspects of this policy applies to current and former employees. An official or employee who knowingly and willfully grants access to confidential information in an employee's personnel file may be found guilty of a misdemeanor and may also be fined in an amount not to exceed $500. This concludes the overview of Article 9, Personnel Records of the Iredell County Personnel Ordinance. Please note this presentation is not all-inclusive and it is your responsibility to review the policy in its entirety. For additional information, please review the ordinance under Employee Self-Serve or contact your department head for further clarifications.